which would, it's always good to be up a little bit higher. I mean, at the top 16, all the runners are very skilled though, so it's not going to be like a ton of room for, like significant advantages as far as that goes. I mean, even if you look right now, like Toasty is in the 15 seed. Obviously, Toasty, an excellent runner of Super Metroid, so not going to be a huge deal at that point. And then Toasty is currently in the 11th seed, and with a win today, could jump as high as 6th, I think. Yeah, a tie for the like 4th, 5th, 6th spot. So got some moonfalls going on 3 of our runners' sides. Rumbleminze doing a slow fall down the climb, but weaving in and out of the platforms. And we will see what our first couple items are. We should be seeing a morph ball, and it looks like a vanilla morph ball at that. And now we've got a major in the ceiling that will be something, possibly a vanilla E-Tank. My guess is going to be that it's going to be Spazer. We're going to be seeing an early Spazer beam that our runners will at least have the option to skip if they prefer. And it is a vanilla E-Tank. And we've got a couple of our runners opting to go down to the minor check first, which is a play that I like to make personally, because like in this situation, Toasty found regular missiles. They still need or could be on the lookout for supers. And one of the locations that could be at is at Billy Mays missiles, which requires power bombs to get through. So the runners that went down will have the option to go and check Billy Mays if they really want to bank on supers being up there. It is, of course, a bit of a time sink. But if Toasty wants to make that check, he is going to have to go back and do a couple extra door transitions. I imagine we will see none of the runners do Billy Mays, but it's definitely on the table. Depends on how thorough they want to be at this point. And we are going to see a couple runners, or at least Toasty is going to check the minor item behind our morph ball. And there are the first super pack that we've seen so far. So hopefully that doesn't come back on Beefy or BFrobber later. Hopefully there's going to be more supers available for him. Looks like we got a little meme route from Toasty Muffins. We'll see if anybody else decides to follow in his footsteps. Rumbleminze does not want to do a meme route. BFrobber is also going to skip the minor under Old Mother Brain. So, there are situations where there is only like one early super pack all the way through Big Pink. So we're just going to have to hope for Beefy's sake that that's not what's going to happen to him and slow him down. Maisgueuh is going to opt to check, and it's just a missile pack under Old Mother Brain. So he's going to skip on that. Going to just go ahead and make the climb as we see Toasty making his way through Big Pink in reverse fashion. And we do see another super missile pack there. So we know that BFrobber is not going to have too many problems by skipping that first super pack that we saw behind Morph Ball. We've got a wave beam at the charge beam location. Toasty definitely going to pick that up. That's also going to make his wave gate easier. He's not going to have to glitch it with the super. All right, and looks like it was a E-Tank at Bomb Teresa, which I did miss on BFrobber's screen when he was there, but now Rumbleminze and Maisgueuh are in that room, showing us what's going on there. Toasty's going to make his way into the through the wave gate room, and he's finding high jump boots at the wave gate. So far, that he would have inevitably got these items anyways if he had gone the normal way, but these are the kind of things that make you think that meme route is really paying off here. So we'll see what he continues to find as he makes his way back up. I think at this point, his ideal find would be Speed Booster. That way he can at least make sure he can check everything at the wreck ship, because you don't really want to do meme route just to end up going down the red tower. And we've got an E-Tank at Terminator as well. BFrobber is going to be the first to the green Brinstar reserve tank location as well. He's going to jump down here, do a quick mock ball, and skedaddle on through this room. There he goes, no problem. First try, gets through it. Toasty making his way back through the pink area at the bottom of this green Brinstar spot. He's going to go check the Etacoons, see what our wall jumping friends have to offer. Does a quick little moonfall down to get through there. BFrobber's going to go pick up this miner at the top of, like, basically that's the early supers location. He's just going to check that because he didn't get the drops that he really needed to open that door. And it's a grapple beam. I'm sure we'll see our runners pick that up. Looks like a missile pack and a super missile pack at Ron Popeil. All right, so Toasty's going to have a bit of a high five with Rumbleminze here, going into this room. Right there. So high five. Toasty getting the mock ball, no problem. All of our runners getting their mock ball without any issue. Not having to reset. And it looks like everybody's going to pick up that grapple. Grapple's going to give them a couple options. Of course, it does do easy wreck ship entrance. The intended way to do get into wreck ship, in fact. There's also, you can check the X-ray item way easier than having to do any early X-ray strats or any spring ball jumps or anything like that if they get those items. And also it does make for an option to do a quick kill on Dragon if they don't get the microwave beam, or if they just don't feel like trying to get a blue suit or something like that. Always an option for our runners to just fry the shrimp by having him hug you and then you latch onto one of the electrical outlets in the wall. Also makes for some easy farming, like in the pre-Ridley room or some other rooms. Like there's definitely some spots in Meridia where you can just spam the grapple beam at the bug pits and fill up pretty quickly, because it also picks up drops, if you were not aware. All right, Toasty's going to make his way back into Criteria now. He's going to pick up his E-Tank at Terminator, as our other runners are going into the Wavegate room. Not having the wave beam that is a charge beam, they're going to actually have to glitch this. So you're going to see Rumbleminze already has completed it, but BFrobber, what he's doing, he's standing in the door, and he is basically, you're moving like 1 pixel forward so you can stay even with the wall, and you want to take a shot when your head reaches that little nub or the cake pop on the wall, and then you want to continue jumping and shoot like right at that point. And what it does is it basically makes the screen progress enough to where the super missile is allowed to clip through the gate and hit the switch on the other side. BFrobber, though, in his going to find more supers, picks up the wave beam, which is going to make that significantly easier if he chooses to go back, which I imagine that he will. He doesn't want to skip on something like Varia at this point in the game, because that could be extremely tragic for a race when this kind of stuff happens. But he's going to be really thrilled to find high jump boots. And we'll see what Toasty decides to do here. He could go up and check Gauntlet, which none of our other runners were able to do with their power bomb count at that point in time. Rumble's going to pick up that second power bomb pack at the Green Hill Zone. BFrobber picks up his high jump boots. Maisgueuh is all the way through Big Pink. So slight advantage right now for Maisgueuh in the top race, but of course this early anything can happen. And it looks like Toasty is going to make his way up to Gauntlet and find out what's there. I didn't see if he took a save, so we'll see if he decides to go all the way through, or if he did save, maybe he finds like a reserve and just pieces out of that room, decides not to go in. Given his current item setup, the only thing that he can't physically get would be the wreck ship reserve tank. So as long as that's not a super important item, he does have high jump boots to be able to get through the what's that called? Sponge bath room. that wouldn't be an issue for him. But so as long as there's nothing super critical there, this could pay off for him. Oh, and it's a Spazer Beam at Gauntlet. We're about to see Maisgueuh show us what's at regular Spazer location. Rumbleminze checking the X-ray at him, and it's a Spring Ball. Spring Ball. So that's a great item. I think a lot of people... I don't think people really don't like Spring Ball. It's not like one of those things where they know it's good. They know that it can definitely be helpful. There's even some tricks, like, you know, you might even be required to do Spring Ball jumps through certain rooms to progress through certain areas of the game. Comes in really helpful if you have to do a Suitless Meridia. I think Ponk yesterday was saying that ice strats are actually faster because of the menuing, but sometimes the ice strats aren't necessarily easier, in my opinion, especially the one where you're trying to freeze those first crabs and get through that first gravity-less jump. So Toasty's going to keep the Spazer. He's going to take a save, it looks like, and now he's going to make his way over to the wrecked ship. Grapple's going to give him pretty easy access to this. He's not going to have to waste energy like sparking over or anything like that. And it looks like the other runners, though, are going to be heading to Kraid. So Maisgueuh has killed Miniature Kraid. He's about to go have a battle with the Ghidorah before the real Kraid fight. BFrobber's taking care of these key hunters. We'll see if he decides to check this miner. Looks like no. Don't know if anybody's going to check that miner on the way into Kraid, but possibly on the way out. They do have wave beams, so they can just shoot through the wall and see what it is. Maisgueuh is going to set up for a Kraid quick kill, so we'll see how he does with that here as Kraid appears through the floor. And Maisgueuh is setting up for the Force Super method, and he nails it. So no stretching of the legs for Kraid today on Maisgueuh's screen, and we'll see BFrobber doing the same shortly. And a little divergence on the Rumbleminze and Toasty side of the race. Rumble heading into Kraid as Toasty makes his way through the wrecked ship. And BFrobber did have to do a bit of a backup there, but he does get that Kraid quick kill, no problem. So no stretching, no legs being stretched for either of the top racers at the moment, and they are rewarded with the E-Tank after Kraid. Rumbleminze is going to be going through, hits the D-Boost, nails the Ghidorah with a super, and makes his way into the Kraid room as Toasty starts his Fantoon fight. Gets a, I think that's a fast. Nails him in the eye, so he's going to set up for a Doppler here. And I think he got 2 on that Doppler, so that's 600 damage so far, if I'm not mistaken. As Rumble also gets the Kraid quick kill and uses the 2 missiles, 3 supers method, so a little bit different from what Maisgueuh did. As Maisgueuh, I didn't see what was at that item location, but BFrobber will show us here shortly. And it's just another E-Tank. So 2 E-Tanks are the rewards for the Kraid area for today. Plenty of energy so far for our runners to do some heck runs if they choose to go into Norfair, which I imagine that we'll see a few of them do. It looks like Maisgueuh is doing that. He's going to check the Ice Beam location first. There's a couple strategies here in the business center of Norfair. You can either start off by going to Ice Beam, or you can go to High Jump Boots. Sometimes I will prefer to go to High Jump Boots first and then to Ice, because if one of those items is Speed Booster, then you can just go through the Croc Speedway down to Ranomizer, if you're one of the faithful that likes to go there. The other option would be to go to Ice first, and a reason that sometimes you choose to do that is because if you're not sure or convinced that you're going to find Speed Booster, if you have to do that hell run and then you have to go to High Jump Boots, you could get a refill, so that helps you with having to refill on the Sovas or the Novas that are in that business center. But even if you find Speed Booster second, then you can just take the Frog Speedway over to Bubble Mountain, which is pretty quick also. It's all faster than doing the initial Cathedral Hell Run. So those are the kind of reasons that those strategies, that you might see people do different strategies, but it looks like everybody's going to choose to go to Ice first. Toasty's about to make his first check after a successful Fantoon fight in the wrecked ship, so we'll see what treasures await him. And that is not much of a treasure, but Toasty's going to pick up the reserve tank anyways. Not having as many E-tanks as the other runners. Oh, Maisgueuh just found Varia at high jump boots. That's a big deal. Toasty's in a bit of trouble here if the wrecked ship ends up being not loaded. I mean, there's a few things that he can find, like gravity would obviously be one of the ideal things that Toasty wants to find up here. Charge beam or speed booster would also give him a pretty significant advantage that some of the other runners might have, because when you're going down first, you don't want to have to go back up to wrecked ship. You want to find everything first. Toasty's going to check that miner as well. BFrobber's picking up his Varia suit. Maisgueuh's already out of the first room of this. Well, he's no longer a heated run, but he is now in the cathedral room. Not going to check the... Oh, he is going to check the cathedral miner, and it's just regular missiles, which he's not going to pick up. But it seems like Maisgueuh is already conscious about possibly picking up enough ammo to finish Mother Brain, or at least getting that 30th super missile to have a super only fight with Ridley. Toasty making it through the spiky room of death. So he's going to show us what's at the wrecked ship E-tank here pretty soon. And if you're not aware of the tournament, how the tournament logic differs from normal, the normal game, you guys saw the reserve tank at it's normally a super missile pack. Oh, and there's charge beam for Toasty. So he does fall down there. He is going to want to go pick that up, though. So he's going to try not to take too much damage. The spikes are less damage than the fish, so he's going to opt to take the damage there. But he's definitely going to want that. But that is one of the things that can really make a difference for Toasty, us knowing that Varia is somewhere in Norfair. He's definitely going to want that, and he's going to want to be able to make it out. But anyways, as I was saying, the E-tank that's normally in front of high jump boots has been switched with that right side super missile and wreck ship, just to give the runners the option to find 4 major items, potential major items in the wreck ship. If there were only 3, it would be a much less desirable play. You would rarely see any route divergence to head up there just based on how many majors would be in Norfair. So that's why the switch was made. All right, Maisgueuh is going to pick up that super missile pack that's before the speed booster room. Rumbleminze is going to check out the wrecked ship E-tank first. Toasty is being a little bit careful. Of course, these spikes really hurt. These platforms, if you happen to get hit by one of those, if you happen to get crushed by one of these spike platforms, does 200 damage to the regular yellow suit. So he's definitely going to want to be careful there. Though it looks like he did take a save before Spiky Room of Death. He still doesn't want to have to go back for that charge beam and do that series of rooms again. I'm trying to figure out what I missed on Rumbleminze's screen when he went in there, but it looks like it wasn't an E-tank. I don't see anything tracked so far. BFrobber will show me here. And it's an E-tank that looks like Rumble decided to skip. BFrobber is going to skip it as well. Toasty's making his way through the attic in the top of wrecked ship. He's going to go be seeing what's happening at the... well, he might just decide without speed booster to skip the actual check of the item. It looks like he is going to go find out what's going on here. So he's going to have to do some like short mid-air morphs. He's going to turn off high jump boots to give himself a little bit more time in the air to do a mid-air morph to get through here. It does make it a little bit easier to get through these 3 platforms. And it is an E-tank. So Toasty not only finding charge in wrecked ship, which is going to be a pretty significant thing for him, also knowing that he's not locked out of an item, not having speed booster up here. So even with one more major check, a pretty decent wrecked ship so far. I think that charge beam really going to pay off later. Could make the difference in his race with Rumble if he doesn't have to find a bunch of miners to have a mother brain fight. Especially with high jump boots and Varia, it's very likely that we're going to see the runners that went down to Norfair go into lower Norfair first, doing a lava dive with high jump boots to get into the lower Norfair elevator. And after you're done with Norfair, that's when you're really kind of like, am I going to just find charge, and you want to be able to finish the game, kind of like have like a go mode wreck ship, not really have to do anything in there. But of course, us knowing the charge beam in there, we know if the other runners decide to do that, they are going to be on a bit of a minor hunt to be able to take down Mother Brain 2. But so far, it looks like 35 supers for Maisgueuh, who's already in to Lower Norfair. Rumbleminze is headed there right now, as Toasty's taking a bit of a break at the bowling chorizo. BFrobber and Rumbleminze both going through the, as Tracy has coined, remembered highway at the same time. Maisgueuh is going to super down these golden climbing pirates here, just to make sure he doesn't take too much damage from them. Not having the charge beam only has the option to use missiles to take down those pirates. Toasty's going to make his way after his break into the vanilla gravity. Oh, and it's ice beam, so that's another interesting advantage for Toasty at this point in time. Having that's going to make his Turian faster. Not only is it going to make his Turian faster because he's not going to have to, he doesn't have to find a 15 or third missile or power bomb pack, excuse me, to be able to take care of the Metroids without any refills or lucky drops. But it's also just faster to have Ice Beam and use Ice Beam to freeze the Metroids, and then use a missile, 5 missiles or 1 super to take care of them. So Charge and Ice, I think, definitely makes it. I don't know if you'd call it a stacked ship, but I think it's a worthwhile ship. Maisgueuh seeing a reserve tank at the Fireflea's location. I didn't see if he went to Screw Attack. And it looks like Rumble's going to head over there. There's a lot of stuff going on in this 4-way. Hard to keep up. There we go. Rumble gets his green gate glitch. I think that was on his 3rd try. He's going to lay a power bomb in this room. These Rippers have excellent super missile drops, so this is a really easy way for him to get, 5, 6 supers in exchange for 1 power bomb. And of course, he can always get 2 more power bombs from the blue orbs before pillars. Oh, and it's a space jump. So it looks like Maisgueuh did not pick up that item, as he's already into Wasteland. He's really cruising through Lower Norfair. And he's going to check out Power Bombs of Shame on his way in. Yeah, he's going to actually take that missile pack. I'm kind of surprised. So maybe he's already starting to think about a chargeless Mother Brain fight. Rumbleminze laying another Power Bomb. So, I mean, he got like 12, 13 power bombs super missiles in exchange for 2 power bombs, which is a pretty good rate. So it's a lot faster than refilling before Ridley. But of course, he's also likely going to need those power bombs to help him get through some of these pirates and stuff on his way to Ridley. And it looks like BFrobber is going to opt to fight GT. And so he's trying to find that sweet spot where you can line up and not get hit by any of the attacks from Golden Chorizo. And it's like right on the inside of this pillar, but it looks like he doesn't quite have enough supers to take him down in one go. So he's going to have to farm some of these Chozo balls for supers. So he's using his farmer beam to do that. Maisgueuh is taking care of the Ghidorah before Ridley. As Toasty makes his way down, he's going to go take care of Kraid now. And we'll see if he uses the charge beam strategy to do his Kraid quick kill. So besides the missile one that we saw the other runners do, if you shoot a charge shot at Kraid, it freezes Kraid's hand in whatever position when it hits. So obviously the idea is to freeze it when it's in its down position, and then you don't have to worry about him telling you to talk to the hand when you're shooting your missiles at him. But if you do that, you have to hit 4 supers. You can't do a two regular missiles in 1 strategy. So that would be the biggest difference. Of course, the window is definitely open enough for just doing 4 supers, but I'm not necessarily sure which one is more dangerous to perform. So BFrobber did find another. He found 2 super packs, but of course only one of them is actually available without going all the way around and doing a small cutscene after space jumping over to the left of where you first go into Lower Norfair. I don't think that we'll see him do that. Maisgueuh is having his Ridley fight now. Gets him into a nice pogo. It should be finished here pretty soon. Really just pumped a ton of supers into him. It's going to pump some regular missiles for good luck, or at least for good measure, probably not for luck at all. Does get grabbed by the Space Pelican and has taken down Ridley. Picks up his drops and will head to the room behind Ridley on the hunt, of course, for the gravity suit at this point. And it is another E-Tank, and Maisgueuh's pretty full on health, so he's not going to take that E-Tank. He even has enough for stand-up already if he goes and ends up finding Charge Beam in the wreck ship. Of course, with no gravity in the wreck ship, it's extremely unlikely at this point that they will do it. The only situation that they might go to wreck ship and end up finding Charge and Ice that Toasty's already found is if they don't find gravity before Meridia. At the same time, though, they already have high jump boots, spring ball, and grapple beam. Ice isn't really required to get through anywhere Suitless except for into bot wound, so they could get into Mama Turtle. Gravity cannot be at the left sand pit, so they don't have to worry about that. But if they don't have all of them, I mean, we might see some runners see what's going on, but they would need that ice beam if Suitless is required. So that's something to watch out for. If they don't, none of our runners went to Croc, so of course Ranomizer still has 2 majors that could end up being the gravity suit, but we've already seen what's all the item checks in Lower Norfair. Of course, yeah, ice beam is the only thing that they would really need. Without that, they can't do full Suitless. So, and it looks like BFrobber is gonna go pick up that super pack, which is gonna give him his 30th pack. So now he can take down Ridley with only supers. Rumble had an extremely fast Ridley fight. I didn't even really see him go in there and finish that off, but utilizing those supers. Of course, super missiles normally do 300 damage. Against Ridley, they do 600. Their damage is doubled. So 30 supers are required to take down Ridley. A lot of the runners, of course, that are used to doing any percent stuff like that are also already pretty well versed as far as taking down Ridley with Charge Beam. But for people that are like me, I'm not very good at Ridley fights, so I always prefer supers. It's a lot faster for me to be able to pull off. Wow, BFrobber only getting 1 power bomb drops from that those blue guys, so he's gonna have to keep resetting this room and do a little bit of farming up to get some power bombs. Right now he's got like the bare minimum, and of course not having a second power bomb pack. One of the things that we're gonna see BFrobber struggle with a little bit is that you basically need exactly 5 power bombs to get through the lowest part of Lower Norfair. So we're talking like after that last save point going towards Ridley and beyond. So power bomb management is going to become extremely important for him. Of course, some of the enemies do give you some favorable drops as far as that stuff goes, but it's not something that you really want to be relying on. As long as he gets through the forced power bomb location in Wasteland, he should be okay, because then he can farm up power bombs at the pre-Ridley room. Rumbleminze is going to pick up that reserve that's at the Firefleas location. Not sure if he just jumped into it. It's definitely something that happens. Seems like he has enough health, but of course maybe he just wants the reserve tank. Maybe he likes reserve tanks. All right, BFrobber is going to head over to the Firefleas. Like, as I said, he needs 5 power bombs to get through here. So he's going to farm up on these Firefleas. I imagine that we'll see him skip the reserve tank, unless he just flies into it and can't stop. But here he goes. He's going to pick up a couple power bombs from these Firefleas in here so he can make his way into down towards the Wasteland area. Maisgueuh is already out of Norfair, and it looks like he's going to opt to skip Ranomizer, which is a pretty risky play at this point, us with the information that we have at least, knowing that gravity is not at the wrecked ship. It very well could be at Ranomizer. Ranomizer could be loaded, in fact. He could have like plasma and gravity, which would be pretty incredible. And he also skipped the X-ray check, which had spring ball, which if you ends up getting ice from the wrecked ship, won't matter as much. But even though it's not faster, sometimes the spring ball jumps, if you have to do Suitless Meridia, do make for a little bit easier time. We'll see what he decides to do here. Having, I guess he just has high jump boots and grapple. So without spring ball or ice, we're definitely not going to see him do any Suitless shenanigans. So he's more than likely headed up to the wrecked ship. Toasty opens the lava dive door. We'll see him take his lava dive now as he does a little bounce ball off that enemy there, which is one of the faster ways to get down to the bottom of this lava pit when you don't have gravity. Wall jumps off of the enemy, off the other wall, and he gets through his high jump with lava dive. So we've got a Ranomizer check on Rumbleminze's screen. If you would like, now is a very appropriate time to get your preferred Ranomizer emotes into the chat. Everybody's favorite lumpy red lizard in Norfair. That's what he is. He's probably a lizard, alligator, croco-gator, croco-lizard. BFrobber doing a little bit of farming before Ridley. Probably not as much for energy as it is for supers. And there's the plasma beam, as I said. We could have a very loaded Ranomizer. This could be a plasma gravity Ranomizer, which would be really damning at this point for Maisgueuh as far as it goes. I think we'll very likely see BFrobber make the Ranomizer checks after lower Norfair. It's not a check that you really want to come back for, especially if you were able to finish lower Norfair. Toasty grabs his space jump, and he is going to head out of the screw attack room. Looks like he is going to drop a power bomb here just to kind of cap off his super count. Gets 3 out of the deal. He's going to take care of those and then probably get these couple power bomb drops from these blue guys before heading into the pillars room. There he goes. There we go. BFrobber utilizing the farmer beam. So he's now farming up these green bugs. Toasty going through the pillars room. Rumbleminze without speed booster, just going to use his space jump to get up to the grapple beam. Well, grapple beam location. We'll see what the other Ranomizer item is. See how big or how much the faithfulness to Croc is going to pay off. And it's not gravity, but it is regular bombs. So it looks like we have at least some Suitless Meridia in our future. We have seen most of the item check. We saw all of the wrecked ship. We've now seen all of the Ranomizer and Norfair area. We've seen X-ray. So the only things that we really haven't seen so far is Waterway, which we can't check without the speed booster. So that spring ball is going to be even more important right now for our runners, but chances are, because they don't have ice beam, I don't think that we'll see our runners like really gamble on Mama Turtle having gravity, because that's really the only option that they have to be able to get through without ice beam. So Toasty definitely in a very interesting position. He's not going to be looking for as many miners as everybody else, but chances are people are going to go make the same finds that he has found. And Rumble's in an interesting position, and same with Maisgueuh at this point, because they still have all of wrecked ship and all of Meridia to check, but they're already at 40 and 45 supers respectively. So, you know, just a handful more super packs and a couple more missile packs, and they've got the means to do a chargeless Mother Brain. Whether they want to do that, I mean, Maisgueuh is going to find Charge Beam in here, seeing how it's the second major item in the wreck ship. Whereas BFrobber did take a little bit more time to go get that extra super pack from the Golden Chorizo area. But that could be something, if he just stops checking miners, that could be something that allows him to make up a bit of time on Maisgueuh. Maisgueuh is going to opt to check that. So as we see Maisgueuh picking up another missile pack, definitely think that he's starting to think about Mother Brain fights without Charge Beam. See, Spring Ball bounces through the inactivated spike area. He's going to go through the green door and get ready for a Fantoon fight. Rumbleminze is also going to go up the red tower and go over to wreck ship. BFrobber making his way back into the wasteland. BFrobber also didn't get Spring Ball, and that is going to be a bit of a problem for him. So, yeah, that's going to be an issue, because right now, BFrobber has to use a power bomb here, and then he has to use a power bomb to break these blocks, but he doesn't have Spring Ball or regular bombs, so he can't use a power bomb, or he doesn't have another power bomb to actually bounce up and back into that first key hunter room. Oh, I think he's soft locked. He also doesn't have enough power bombs to get back into the side hoppers and be able to farm more. So he's a bit stuck. He doesn't have X-ray to X-ray climb. And yeah, he's now stuck in these blocks. And it looks like we do have a forfeit on BFrobber's side, being stuck in this area. I don't even know the last time he saved. It looks like he has a mark on that save location that's after those first 3 key hunters. So, I mean, he's really not that far. He'd have to go back in and fight Ridley. Maybe he just already feels too far behind to keep going. So unfortunately, for BFrobber, he's just going to call it quits there. As Maisgueuh finishes Fantoon, Toasty finishing Ridley while I was ranting about what was happening with BFrobber's situation. Toasty currently just one boss left. Of course, Maisgueuh also just one boss left at this point in time too, but Toasty is going to have an interesting advantage over Rumbleminze. He's definitely going to be able to get into Meridia before Rumble is. So as far as the bottom race goes right now, advantage, in my opinion, is definitely on Toasty's side. For me, it's at this point his race to lose. Though the Plasma Beam could really come into play in their race if Toasty decides, you know what, I've got the goods to get into Meridia Suitless and get through it. So maybe he decides not to check Croc. Toasty using some interesting Morph Ball, Spring Ball strats to kind of make him make himself smaller to get through the key hunters. And Rumbleminze is starting his Fantoon fight off, going with the Doppler strats. Gets like 2 on that first Doppler round, so I think that's 600 damage. Anticipating a fast there, shoots a missile up at Fantoon, hoping that he's going to open his eye. And we have Maisgueuh making his way to where we know Charge Beam is, so he's going to be pretty satisfied to find this item, of course. Though sometimes when you have that many missiles already, you're kind of like, I was already gonna do this, but I you're not really gonna pass on charge at that point anyways. Rumbleminze has finished his Fantoon fight. Toasty's making his way out of lower Norfair. We will see if he decides to make the Croc checks, or if he just thinks that he's had enough of Norfair and just wants to get into Meridia and do it suitless. I know that Toasty is capable of full suitless Meridia, which he currently has all the items that he would need to do. So maybe that's the gamble he's willing to make. We know that gravity's got to either be at Mama Turtle. Well, it doesn't have to be. It could be at Mama Turtle and it could be at Botwoon, but we could also find Speed Booster and gravity could be speed locked at Waterway. And those are really the scenarios that we're looking at right now as far as where gravity could be. All right, Toasty's making his Bubble Mountain rounds right now. So he checked the wave item. He's going to skip on this reserve tank here. Of course, being able to make up a bit of time here, not having to worry about miners that other people spent about 7 seconds to collect. Toasty's doing a little bit of farming. Even though he has charge, probably wants to just be able to one super, one regular missile croc. Oh, and not going to make the Crocomire check. So that plasma beam could really come into play here for Rumble and Toasty's race. Could make a big difference on what our runners decide to do and what they can make up. Of course, Rumble is going to be able to have a much more dynamic stand-up if that's something he decides to do. Rumble using some like hybrid attic strats, laying the power bomb and then taking care of everything else with plasma wave. Very strong beam combo. Maisgueuh has finished his break and is going to pick up that ice beam. Definitely going to pick up that ice beam. Oh yeah, Toasty was showing off one of the well, I don't know how new it is, but something that our runners have definitely been using more, which is where you kind of overload the memory of the game. And you basically, as long as you have wave and either plasma or spazer, you just shoot like 15 angled shots up into that wall, and then the game just kind of flips out a little bit and allows you to run through those speed blocks. So something that a lot of people have been using, not only in the Super Metroid randomizer stuff, but also in the combo randomizer. It's just a way to get out of Norfair a little bit faster than going through the initial hell run. So by the time Toast or Rumble gets his ice beam, with his beam combination, it's only going to take Rumble 20 charge shots to take down Mother Brain 2, whereas Toasty is going to need 60 without that plasma beam. And that's going to make a big difference in the speed of their Mother Brain 2 fights. And we'll see if Toasty even opts to check Mama Turtle at this point, or if he's just going in go mode, full on go mode at this point. And it looks like he is going to make his way past Mama Turtle. So he says, I don't need it. I don't need it, to the potential gravity or speed booster that could be at Mama Turtle. But that does mean that Toasty here is either going to have to do a snail climb or a grapple jump. Both are pretty interesting techniques to see. It looks like he's opting for the snail climb. So he's going to keep turning back and forth, because these snails, you can kind of manipulate how they move and stop by turning left and right. So he's going to use the snail to climb around through here. And then he's going to tell that snail to heck off, and so he doesn't get knocked off that little platform he's using. And now what we're going to see Toasty do is he's going to grab one of these Machtroids and he's going to freeze it, and then he's going to clip through the crumble blocks. So this is how you get through this room without Speed Booster. This is a trick that is required in the Super Metroid item randomizer league logic. And there he goes. Gets it no problem. It's a very easy clip. It's much easier than the clip into Shack tool. And Toasty is just going to... Oh, he's going to use supers and charge shots on Bot Wound. I think that he hit 6 of his 7, so he should just have a couple more, maybe 3 more shots with the charge beam here. Oh, just 2. And depending on what Toasty sees here, we'll kind of have an idea of what other items are at Mama Turtle. And that's a speed booster. So right now, either gravity is either at Mama Turtle or at Waterway. But Toasty doesn't care. He's just going to use Spring Ball, make it through this little Spring Ball maze, and we will definitely be seeing him take care of Meridia full suitless. And then that's also going to... What's going to determine another impact of the race is what Rumble decides to do. If he decides to go to Mama Turtle and that's where gravity is, we're going to see him make up a ton of time on Toasty. If it's not there and if gravity is at Waterway, we will very likely see Rumble also do full suitless. I know that he also has the ability to do that. Toasty using that grapple beam to get out of the water, pull himself up out of the water. And with Space Jump, is going to just be able to Space Jump through this room without having to mess with the grapple beam in the water too much. Of course, Space Jump's paying dividends in this room. Makes that room significantly easier. And then the room that Rumble's in, this is always kind of funny. One of the things that I find funny about Super Metroid is Suitless grapple beam in this room is so much easier than when you have gravity. So that's kind of funny how that works. Yeah, Toasty has been doing quite a bit of RBO. So this is definitely something that he's getting more comfortable as time goes on doing. And it looks like Rumble not checking Mama Turtle either. So also looks to be in go mode, saying, heck, gravity, I'm just going. I'm going to get through this game as fast as I can with what I have now. And Rumble is laying a power bomb there to get rid of those snails that can interrupt the grapple jump that we're seeing him do. But I don't know how grapple jump works. I don't even know if I'm going to try to explain it. But from what I do understand about it, when you swing over, one of the ways that the water physics work is after you swing over and you morph in the air, when you unmorph for a very small portion of time, the game thinks that you're standing on something, which allows them to make another jump, morph again, and then unmorph and do another jump. So that's kind of a very low-level explanation of grapple jump. Wow, Toasty not only taking down Dragon incredibly quickly, but that was like first try, I think, escape. So that's awesome. Good for him. But Rumble is going to have a faster Bot Wound and potentially a faster Dragon with his Plasma Beam. Takes down Bot Wound. And it looks like Maisgueuh also not interested in what Mama Turtle has to offer. So, oh, and there we go. That's what I was talking about. Maisgueuh getting stuck on one of those snails. So impeding a bit on his ability to spring ball jump through this room. Or I'm sorry, grapple jump is what that strategy is called. But he also gets it no problem. So he's going to make his way into whatever this room is called before Bot Wound. Rumbleminze definitely picking up that speed booster, and we do have a bit of a high five from our runners. High five through the spring ball maze. And I'm being corrected. Thank you, Sabus. Apparently, Dragon won't be faster because of the strategies that they have to use to take care of Dragon with Suitless. So, all right. Well, we've got Toasty making his way out of Meridia, and our other runners just kind of following in his footsteps. If you haven't already, make sure that you take a moment, go to these runners' pages, and give them a follow if you're not following them already. Of course, everybody here has a ton of entertainment to offer, even if they're not playing Super Metroid. A lot of fun stuff that you can watch our runners do. So make sure that you check them out. Of course, also shout outs to the Speed Gaming team for putting this together, our Sunday races. And I know that they will also be doing a significant amount of work to do the playoffs that will be starting sometime soon. We are in the last section of the item randomizer regular season. Most of these runners, this is their last match of the regular season. We are in week 18, and all races are due to be finished by Wednesday of this week. So. But yeah, go to their pages, give them a follow. It only takes one click or maybe 2 clicks if you count getting to their page. Make everybody's follower count go up, makes everybody happy. And of course, shout outs to Siberian as well. He is tracking for us today. Siberian does a ton of tracking. It's like I'm pretty sure him and Cheaty Face combined probably do like 95% of the tracking for the league. So shout outs to those guys. Doing the grunt work, as you may call it, to make everybody's stream viewing much more easy to watch. So thank you to you guys that do that. Looks like Maisgueuh maybe going back for Mama Turtle. And yeah, that looks to be what's happening here. Yeah, 95% might have been a high guesstimation, but I always feel like whenever you see who's tracking, it's a lot of the time it's either Siberian or Cheaty Face. All right, Toasty is heading to Turian. Looks like he did refill at the ship. Of course, with Ice Beam is going to be able to do the Ice Zeb skip. As Rumbleminze is doing his grapple bounces, and this is kind of like the grapple jump, but you'd have to like bounce off that little corner. And he is taking quite a bit of damage from latching onto this little electrical outlet. Now, one thing that I can't do this trick that he's trying to do, but one thing that I do know about it is there's basically 2 grapple points in that that electrical outlet, and you do want to be on the lowest one, which it looks like Rumble is getting successfully. But I know that I don't know if it's even possible on the higher one, but I know that it is much more difficult. Toasty is using some power bombs to take care of the Metroids in the second Metroid room. So he makes his way into the third one. Making really good time on these Metroid rooms so far. Trying to keep his ammo and energy up for Mother Brain 1, but also his energy, because that way if he does not get grabbed by the baby, he has even more leeway to be able to do some stand-up. Of course, with Spazer, that he's not going to get as much out of stand-up as Rumble will, but every little bit of damage does kind of help at this point, make that a little bit faster. And looks like Rumble did run out of energy trying to get that gravity jump. He did save right before Dragon though, so not too bad for him. Though Toasty, of course, already has significant lead anyways. Oh, and it looks like Toasty went for a baby skip, but then got grabbed in the door transition. So a little slow going through this room. We might see him. We could see him finish in slow mode. We'll probably see him take a save and reset to negate the slow mode. It looks like that's probably what's going to happen here. So there we go. Toasty now out of slow mode is going to continue on through and is going for his speed Zeb skip. Gets it first try, no problem. Now he's on to his Mother Brain 1 fight. He's going to freeze the Rinkas, give himself a little bit more time to pump missiles into Mother Brain 1. Going to finish it off with super missiles, and we'll see him starting Mother Brain 2 here shortly. There he goes. Maisgueuh's going to find the speed booster on the way into Dragon. And Maisgueuh not finding gravity at Mama Turtle. I believe he did go all the way there. So I think that means gravity is at Waterway. All right, Toasty having a Mother Brain 2 fight. He did save 14 supers, so when catch-up starts, he could unload those supers just for a little bit more DPS, making that last phase of Mother Brain 2 a little bit faster. All right, Rumble once again going for the grapple jump to get out of the Dragon room. And yeah, engine out, just to answer your question. So this is a tournament logic, or what was seen as the tournament logic last year in the 2017 tournament. Oh, there we go, Rumble. Just one more. And Rumble gets out. 72 energy left, but Rumble gets out. Very nice. But basically how that works is that the major items are switched with the major items, and the minor items are swapped with the other minor items. The exception being the E-Tank that's normally in front of high jump boots is in the right side super spot of wreck ship, just to give another major check in the wreck ship to incentivize runners to go up there. So it has to, I'm pretty sure it has to be Waterway at this point, because we've seen everything else, all the other major locations. All right, Rumbleminze is more than likely going to take might even see a refill here in Meridia, but definitely going to want to take at least a save so he doesn't have to do any, in case anything does go awry for him, not going to have to fight Dragon and grapple jump back out of there again. It's going to be a big relief for Rumble at this point. Yeah, and if you're just kind of popping in here, BFrobber unfortunately soft locked, trying to get back into the first Key Hunter shaft. Only had 5 power bombs, didn't have regular bombs, so wasn't able to bomb jump up that little ledge where he's currently stuck. All right, Toasty, having Mother Brain taste the rainbow. Going to be finishing here shortly. Looks like it's just going to be a little bit over an hour to finish the seed, but probably at like a 101. So Maisgueuh is going back into Norfair. Looks like probably going to loop back and find out what's going on at Ranomizer. So we know that gravity's not there. So very likely going to see Maisgueuh find that plasma beam, check out the X-ray item. Oh, Toasty going for the... Toasty is going for whatever this trick is called. It's like a speed ball, speed keep. Oh, decides not to get it. I can't remember what that's called at the moment. Blue Bomber. Thank you, Siberian and Psycho. Don't know why that the name of that escaped me momentarily. All right, Rumbleminze is grapple jumping his way back through this room. He's gonna bomb down to get out of here. Toasty sparking up back into the parlor. See if he decides to have any sort of shenanigans with the animals, but probably looking to secure a 3-point victory and, of course, get a little bit better standing in the playoff setup as far as the top 16 goes. And we see Toasty touching down on the ship and finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 24 seconds. Good game to Toasty Muffins 5. Very well done. Very nicely run. And extremely interesting seeing the suitless strategies that the runners are using here. But his recent RBO experience definitely paying off for him today. Yeah, meme route and full suitless, and Toasty wins. Imagine that. Imagine that, everybody. All right, Maisgueuh picking up the plasma beam is gonna look to attempt at a moonfall to get down here, but does have the speed booster, so isn't gonna just utilize space jump like we saw Rumbleminze do. But it still isn't gonna find gravity, so we'll see if they, maybe they don't have the skills in their bag of tricks to do full suitless. I know that I don't, so I definitely can't fault him for that. But we'll more than likely see him head over to Waterway, where we expect to see gravity. Rumbleminze makes a way back through the Terminator room and is headed into Turian right now. And Toasty, a little dancing Brennan Fraser for us all, is his gift to us. Maisgueuh hitting up the Nutella refill. Oh, Maisgueuh didn't check Screw Attack location either, so looks like maybe even going back into Lower Norfair. That's unfortunate. Does kind of show the value of being thorough when you're already in those areas, so you don't have to loop back. Muscle memory kicking in on Maisgueuh's side, laying a power bomb, but the door not being orange anymore does make that not matter, and also doesn't open the door. But it's something I've definitely done a million times when I'm going back through rooms I've already been in. I do that a lot. If I go check Waterway later when I'm headed out of Big Pink, I almost always super that door, even if it's not green anymore. Definitely something we all do from time to time. Maisgueuh utilizing the spring ball bounces to get through this first room of Lore Norfair, but we'll see him go down here and go to the left, which we know Space Jump is waiting for him at the screw attack. And we are joined by Toasty Muffins 5. Good game, Toasty. How's it going?
Thank you, Android Dreams. Not too bad. Thanks.
Yeah, give us your thoughts on the seed, especially now seeing where everything was.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty surprised. I was like, gravity's definitely a crock because the seed has been, not too slow or anything. So I was like, I'm gonna hope that my Suitless Meridia is slower than a croc, or whatever, or faster than a croc, or similar to a croc. But knowing now that it was at Waterway, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. What the? Woo! This seed wanted you to go to the place. Oh man.
Yeah, it really did. You were the only person also that went to Wreck Ship first, so you got a significant advantage finding Ice Beam that early.
Yeah, I was really happy to see the Ice Beam there. I was like, okay, that's right. It's more beam damage. It's progression at Botwoon. It's faster Metroids. Like it is really nice, but the fact that it was required is like, oh man. That's happened. I lost a race because a required Ice Beam was in that exact spot before, and I didn't go there first. So I know the feels.
Yeah, and it's one of those that when you go up there first and you find like charge and ice for the important items that you found, you're kind of like, if everybody else finds all the other stuff that they need, at least you don't have to find the miners that they would need if they just want to go mode Wreck Ship. So that definitely sets up for some interesting play throughout the rest of it.
Yeah, and I kind of started off thinking it was like wave beam, high jump boots. I was like, oh no, this is going to be a fast seed, and I was actually, if I didn't find that grapple beam, I was going to go down because I don't like doing the CWJ and losing like 10 minutes there. So the grapple beam was nice. I was happy to find that and go to the ship. So yeah, I guess I got lucky there. I kind of read this as a faster, not a. I thought for sure Rumbleminze would have gravity at Croc and was passing me up any time. So it's crazy, yeah. But yeah, good games to Maisgueuh and BFrobber. Oh, did BFrobber soft that? Oh no.
Yeah, he only had 5 power bombs and no regular bombs, which were also at Croc. Like they were at the grapple beam. So he soft locked in that spot. Didn't have enough to get through. Oh, looks like we have a forfeit from Rumble. I did not see what was happening on his.
Oh
his
no, he went to damage down on Mother Brain and died? Oh, feels so bad. Oh, Rumble.
That is rough.
Oh.
So, okay, let's see. I'm looking at the standings here, Toasty, and it looks like you're right now 14-4. You're going to finish at 14-4 with 46 points.
Cool.
So that's going to put you in a tie with Rumble, Ashdar, and Ashdar. J-Ro also has 46 points, but he has one more win. So as it stands right now, with just looking at the standings, if you're in the 5th spot, according to how the tiebreakers should fall, if I'm thinking correctly, it looks like your first round matchup is going to be against Antinomy. So how do you feel about that so far?
Oh man. All right. Well, that's good. I'll have a nice easy warm-up playoff round. Just breeze through that real quick.
Real simple quarterfinals for you, right?
Yeah. Just that's going to be a nice little we'll warm up for the real matches after that. You know. This would be funnier if Sephi was here to defend himself. Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We all like to give Sephi a hard time.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be tough, man. Sephi, I think Sephi, honestly, he's a better player than me for sure, like flat out at everything. But he makes some cosmic brain decisions sometimes that can cost him. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna do my best. That's a really fun match. If that is in fact, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's just how it is right now. I think Sephi still has one more match because he's 13-3-1, so he should still have one more match to schedule, which of course due by Wednesday. So he, even with just a loss and a finish, he would move out of that 12th seed, which then would possibly put you up against somebody like Cross Product, or it looks like Leno is already solidified at 42 points. So still time for a little bit of movement in the standings, but this definitely, your race with Rumble definitely had some crazy impact on the overall standings for the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay.
Because with a win, Rumble would have moved into third place. Even with just a finish, he, I think, would have been tied for third. But he's sitting at 46 with a 15-1-2 record now.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that is interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm really glad I even made the playoffs. My goal was definitely to make the playoffs, whether it was last, 16th or what. So I'm happy, even if I go out the first round, I'm happy I made it. It's that. I've had some, some good matches, some lucky wins and some unlucky losses. So it's been good. I'd say more lucky wins, though. I've been pretty fortunate. Good game, Rumble.
Hey,
Yeah,
good game.
Also joined by Rumbleminze. Good game.
Good for like 99% of the run.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on the seed and how everything kind of fell together?
I mean, once I found Ice in Wreck Ship, right, which gives you full Suitless Meridia possibilities, and then it was like, well, even if speed is at Gauntlet, that means gravity is somewhere in Meridia or at Waterway. I was like, forget it. I'm just going to go do full Suitless. And then had some trouble with Grapple Escape. But this seed sent you all over the place. It was ridiculous.
It really did, yeah.
I thought about doing Meme Route. I got the Power Bombs and the Energy Tank. I was like, it's the last race of the season, of the regular season. But maybe I should just do Meme Route. And I feel like it actually would have been the right call. Do Meme Route and then go Wreck Ship first. It probably would have ended up a little bit faster.
Well, that is exactly what Toasty did.
Oh, I so wish I would have done it too then.
Yeah, I had the same debate because I was like, ooh, there. But as soon as I found there were super missiles to the left of Morph Ball, and so I was like, all right, this is great. I have what I need. So, yeah. I had the same debate. I was like, missiles and power bombs. Ooh, do I do it? I don't know. So, but thankfully, and then the grapple beam too was really nice to help get over the moat.
Yeah, it's always nice to not have to do CWJ, right?
Oh yeah, I really feel so bad losing time to that trick.
Yeah, and one of the things I was talking with Toasty about is how the playoffs are currently lining up, and I think I made a mistake, Toasty, with your potential first round matchup, because I think that Rumble's likely to stay into the 5th slot just because of his 15-win record. So as it stands now, I think, as long as Sephi still has one race left, but Rumble, you actually could end up matching up against Sephi in the first round of the playoffs. How would you feel about that?
Well, it'll be nice to have an easy match to start out.
That's what I said.
That's also exactly what Toasty said.
Yes, dude. What's up?
I mean,
Rumble,
honestly,
my guy.
Like, where is the easy matchup in this playoff? Like, look at the top 20 people, even if the people that didn't make the playoffs, and you're like, where's the easy match there? Like, it's going to be a gauntlet. It's going to be brutal no matter where you're at.
Yeah, and it's what I was saying at the beginning of the race too. It was like kind of looking at the playoff picture. It's like when you're 15th right now, in 15th place is Zost, who is solidified for a playoff spot. It's like, that's not an easy matchup. Like, just because you like, oh, I got second overall, great. Oh, I get to play Zost.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not in second. Like, I'll say that it was a calculated forfeit to adjust my seating to give me the best chance to win a match. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, there are definitely no easy matches. Going to be a great playoff run, though.
I'm now displaying an infographic of my prediction for either Rumble versus Sephi or myself versus Sephi.
Any other thoughts on the seed or the playoffs coming up from either of you guys?
No, I'm excited. Like, there's gonna be a lot of good matches to watch. Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be Sephi throwing one of us overboard, I assume.
Yeah, probably. No, I'm really excited, and I just learned that the playoff matches, first of all, like the best out of 3 is gonna be really fun.
Oh, it is best of 3. Okay.
Yeah, and the progression speed is going to be variable, so it's not going to be slow or fast. It's going to be like random, like this seed is kind of like there's fast bits, there's trolley bits, so it's going to be more random. I think. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and like you said, good matches all around. So good stuff.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things I heard was that even with the variable thing, but there will be no slowest or fastest seeds.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so no free and no required double dips into places like Meridia, Lower Norfair, and other junk.
No speed behind Bot Wound and gravity at Waterway. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, it's less likely. Yeah. I mean, technically. Yeah. So it's like every item has its own chance of being a slow or fast like progression. So like it's going to be more random across the whole seed, basically. It'll be much harder to read if it's like slow or fast because it's just going to be more random across all the items. Apparently, is what I understand.
Yeah, and even for me, who's not in the playoffs, like I'm just excited to get a couple of those seeds and see what they're about. Like I think that it's going to be fun to play through it. I think it'll be also an interesting change from the league overall, just because you kind of get used to like trying to read the seeds and how slow or fast they're going to be. So you're not going to be able to do that as easily anymore, it seems. All right, Maisgueuh is in his first Metroid room, so we should be seeing him wrap up his run here pretty shortly as well. And just one more time, if you guys don't follow any of these guys, make sure that you run to their page real quick. Thank you, Siberian, for getting that into the chat. Give these guys a follow.
Yeah, thanks so much, Android Dreams, for the commentary.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I saw this one on the docket for yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm taking that one. That one looks like a fun one to comment.
Yeah, one last question. Did anybody check Croc before like Lower Norfair?
No, nobody checked.
Oh man,
that
could have really paid off with Plasma and the bombs. Been very helpful in Lower Norfair, certainly. So, but anyway. Good games.
It looked like it could have been a Plasma Gravity at Croc, which would have been pretty juicy. But
man,
didn't wind up that way.
Well, thanks guys, and good game again, Rumble. Sorry about the unfortunate mother brain. I've been there several times.
That's twice this tournament. Sorry, this league. It's not a tournament.
It's not a tournament.
Where I died at Mother Brain 2 trying to do stand-up glitch, so maybe I should, read how it works rather than just damaging myself until I die.
I lost a race while ahead doing that, so dying there, stand-up. Feels bad, man.
Thanks for commentary, guys. Thanks for Speed Game for restreaming. I'm going to go ahead and watch the end of the run, but appreciate it. Make sure you follow the commentators, follow these other runners too.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for the interview.
Thanks.
All right, Maisgueuh is taking a refill here on his energy after getting his energy taken away from the baby. But he's going to make his way into the final areas of Turian to fight Mother Brain. And should be able to ice Zeb Skip here like we saw everybody else do. Not going to take a save before he heads in here. I don't really blame him with his current setup. Should have the means to get through here, no problem. first try on his Ice Zeb skip. So if you're not familiar with how that trick works, what is happening there is you freeze that Rinka in its initial spawn position, which allows you to jump onto it and kind of clip into the wall there. So you take damage and you use the iframes by jumping onto the Rinka, and then you can clip through the Zeb using your invincibility frames. So that's another Android Dreams low-level explanation of how a Super Metroid trick works. So 20 shots here from Maisgueuh to take care of Mother Brain 2. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. I didn't even plan on it. But already about halfway through this portion of the Mother Brain fight, should be seeing some catch-up beams here pretty soon. Are they beams? If they're catch-up? Not sure how that works. Anyways, there's the first catch-up. Just 5 more shots. And then Maisgueuh is setting up for some stand-up glitch here. So he's going to be... Yep, there he goes. He's going to turn off the Varia suit before the rainbow beam goes off, which is going to take more damage from it. But when the rainbow beam's over, instead of just being stuck on the floor, you see him get up, damage himself down to the... Ooh, it almost takes too much damage there from those onion rings. And now is going to be off of the floor while the Metroid comes in, which is going to allow him to be able to start the stand-up. There are some other points where you can get soft lock. I'm not super familiar with doing this trick. I do not know how to do it, so... I know a few of the ins and outs, but you can kind of get caught like on Mother Brain's foot. If you are still shooting at the wrong times, you can soft lock. There's a lot of ways that this can go wrong, but it does save a significant amount of time when done correctly. So we will wish Maisgueuh the best here as we see him start the stand-up portion of the Mother Brain cutscene, hoping that he does not get soft lock anywhere along the way and can finish this out. And I think that was 5 or 6 shots of Rainbow Beam for Maisgueuh. So very well executed stand-up. And we now have an emergency on Maisgueuh's screen. Well, we will as soon as Mother Brain disintegrates, at least. There we go. There's the emergency notification. And we'll see Maisgueuh running through the back end of Turian and into Criteria as the space pirates casually ignore the emergency signal going off. Of course, showing their devotion to Mother Brain and their never-ending attempts to destroy Samus, though their leader is now dead or something. I don't know this Metroid timeline, so if Mother Brain comes back at any point, I guess not really dead, just kind of a little bit injured after being disintegrated. Maisgueuh having no issue in the Leodox room is going to get a spark going into the climb room. Does a normal right side spark. Is going to bonk off that top platform and then just head through the door. And we will see if Maisgueuh decides to perform any sort of shenanigans with the animals here. Makes his way up the parlor and skips the animal room and looks to be headed back to the ship. And Maisgueuh gets the echoes, jumps onto the ship, and finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 54 seconds. Good game to Maisgueuh, taking 3 points from his race with BFrobber. So very well done from all of our runners. Of course, if you haven't already, make sure you give these guys a follow. All right, so that is it for the race for now. We do have some more Super Metroid Randomizer League races. They will not be on any of the Speed Game channels today. The remainder of them should be on the Randomizer League channel. But if you're interested in those, in 30 minutes or at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Cross Product and Scotty 6. And that is another race that has a significant amount of impact on the standings. Scotty currently on the outside looking in, but with a win could possibly solidify a playoff spot for himself, or at least be considered through tiebreakers for the last and final playoff spot that has not been taken at this point in time. Beyond that race, at 5 o'clock Eastern, we have a race between A Real Cutie and Cheese Reaver. At 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Woody versus Mr. Guy Average. And at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have another 4-way or 2 1v1s, and that is between Woody and Derp and Aussie 101 and J-Ro. That, of course, a bunch of good races on the docket today, but that last one should be really, really good. Really fun to watch. So if you're interested, we, of course, have our own Randomizer League channel. It is twitch.tv/Randomizer League. So if you feel the need to watch more Super Metroid Randomizer races, feel free to check us out there. As I said before, the playoffs will be on the Speed Game channels. So you will be seeing us again here shortly whenever the playoffs are starting, about in a week or two, depending on if we're going to get a break between. It looks like we are going to have Maisgueuh come in for an interview, and we are joined by Maisgueuh. Good game, Maisgueuh. How was
How was the seed? The seed was sneaky. I mean, they could give us X-ray. I'm really disappointed.
I actually didn't even see where X-ray was. Did you happen to catch it?
I didn't take care, but I guess it was a shock tool or plasma.
Yeah, that's true. Those are the only 2 items that we didn't see, so it had to be one of those.
I totally forgot about Waterway when I see the speed booster, so I got back to lower Norfair and check the screw attack spot GT. And surprise was not here, and then I realized, oh my god, Waterway.
Yeah, is full Suitless something that's in your bag of tricks that you can?
Sorry, you did cut.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just wondering, is full Suitless something that you're able to perform?
What? Like to kill dragon and go and then exit water Meridia?
Yeah, without gravity suit.
No, I can't.
I can't.
I
either,
should have done this.
Yeah.
But
all right. So
it's out of the logic to do that, but yeah, it could help for this one.
Yeah, that is not in the logic, but of course, with as late as Speed Booster was, that's what we saw. Toasty and Rumble both opt to do the full suit.
Yeah, I guess he did that. I was surprised about the time, and then I realized, oh, it's Toasty. He can do that.
Yeah.
What's happened to BFrobber?
So Beefy only had 5 power bombs, and he didn't have regular bombs. And on his way out of Ridley, back through Wasteland, he ran out of power bombs and couldn't make it up that last ledge because he didn't have Spring Ball either. He had skipped the X-ray check.
Oh shit.
So he got
maybe-
caught in those blocks when they respawned and couldn't get through.
Oh no. Oh no, the fifth one. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, and of course no speed booster, so didn't have the option to speedball out of Wasteland to conserve a power bomb there
you
either.
need
So.
6 of this, and it's really a shame.
Yeah, it
So
was.
sorry for this.
Because it was really close on your guys' side too, up until that point.
Yeah. I'm not sure I could win if it was a regular race. Who knows? Because finally, gravity was my really last check. So I'm not sure.
All right, so it looks like with that victory, it looks like in the standings you're pulling up to 9-9. How are you feeling about how the league went for you overall in the first?
A lot of improvement. So yeah, it's what's the final one? Oh no, I have one left with Nevdi. So maybe I can have a positive score.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh
Let's
yeah, I
see.
guess you're 8-9.
Next Friday, I guess.
Oh, okay. And what are your plans for season 2? Are you anticipating that you'll be back for season 2?
Yeah, oh, sure. I guess I will.
Cool. Well, you got plenty of time to learn a couple new tricks, maybe even throw some Suitless Meridia in there so you can be like Toasty.
Yeah, and Didi cheer me up about to do RBO as well. So maybe I'll start to learn a new tricks for that.
Yeah, it looks like RBO has a significant payoff because people being able to do, Variolus, Norfair, and Suitless Meridia. Definitely seen some people sneak out some wins just because of.
Yeah, it's really dangerous in random because you're not sure about to get an E-tank to refill.
Right. Yeah, it's dangerous, but
really dangerous. You
Yeah.
should save before to go to heaven.
that's true. All right. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add about the seed or the race or anything overall?
No, I think everything has been said. The seed was really amazing. It's one. I think it's the toughest one I got since the beginning. To check every spot in Meridia and go back with speed booster was crazy for me.
Yeah, I would have been doing the same thing without having the. I don't have full Suitless in my repertoire either, so I would have been going to Waterway for sure. But it's kind of frustrating. Like, oh, I can't believe it. It's this last thing I have to check.
Yeah, indeed.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining for an interview, and good game again, Maisgueuh.
Yeah, thank you for comments and thanks to the community and everyone. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. One last time, don't forget to give these runners a follow. We'll get their links into the chat here one last time, but go ahead and go to their page, give them a follow. Everybody likes to see that number tick up just a bit. Once again, shout outs to Siberian for doing the tracking today, making our viewing that much more pleasurable by being able to keep up with the items. And of course, shout outs to the staff at Speed Gaming for getting us going and allowing us to have a slot on Sundays for the Randomizer League. We really appreciate it. In 20 minutes, we'll have another race starting on the Randomizer League channel between Scotty and somebody. I shouldn't have closed that window.
All right.
Scotty
Thank
and
you.
Cross Product. So thank you, everybody. That's going to do it for us today here on Speed Gaming, but we will more than likely see you in the Randomizer League channel. I hope everybody has a great day, and thanks for